Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of Catching Up with Cody podcast. I'm your host, Cody. Today we got a special guest, Jacob Lecky. Say hi, Lecky.
Oh, special guest. Thanks, Cody. I appreciate that.
So, I told them in the episode before that you are a Lions fanatic and you know your shit about sports. So
That's
that's what we'll talk about today.
I know my shit about the Lions. I don't know about sports in general, but I know those Lions.
Yes. Well, they're doing pretty good. 9-1. Not where I thought
Holy
they'd be,
shit.
but I'll take it.
Holy shit.
But
That was good. Did you now? Oh, I listened to the stuff about that Houston game, and oh my God, what a game! Or
yeah,
I just had to talk. What a game!
yeah. I mean, 5 interceptions, you're not supposed to win that game, but I'll take it.
Oh my God, that was a clinic by that team. And then this week, oh, I
It's our second bye week. That's all we needed. Second bye week.
we're about to get a third one next. Well, I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
We've gotten like 4 bye weeks with uh what, the Jaguars, and then who else did we? Oh, the Titans. Oh my God, what was that? 3-51, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So that's true. 3 bye weeks. Yeah, Indy. I mean, Indy might put up a fight. Um,
They got a good
my
defense, but
looking at the schedule, and I know we'll talk about it in a little bit, but I think
yeah.
we lose one more game and that's it.
Oh yeah,
So,
easily. That's
but
it.
and that's
No,
Buffalo.
there's no way.
Yeah, Buffalo is going to be our ultimate test. That's about it.
Yeah.
So,
Although, I mean, we'll talk about it, but holy, I don't know, man. I don't see any team stopping that.
no, I mean, I just see Buffalo being tough just because they did defeat the undefeated Chiefs. But
And Josh Allen is just a god at
yeah,
quarterback.
but other than that, I mean, I didn't think we. I mean, I knew we'd be good, but I didn't think we would be 9-1 good. It does. The only thing
Yeah.
that annoys me every week is looking back at the Tampa Bay game
Hmm.
because technically we should be undefeated, but
Oh yeah.
it
Well,
is what it is. I mean, that 4 point loss hurts more and more each week, but
yeah. But at the same time, it get them out early. You know what I mean?
true, true.
I'm glad. Like, and you're not supposed to, like, the NFL. You're not supposed to go undefeated. Like, I know they hype up the, what is it, that year, the 19, was it like 72 Dolphins or whatever, the ones that went undefeated, and they
Oh yeah, yeah. I
celebrate
mean,
that all the
but
time.
like
But
you
like,
said, football has changed so much from back then to now. So
right. And also, there was only, like, I think that year there was only 12 games, if I'm 12 or 14, if I'm right. I mean,
regular season and then play, and then does that include
right.
playoffs?
Well, no, because they lost in the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, but yes, they were the undefeated. They didn't win in the undefeated season, I think. But yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, you're not supposed to go undefeated. So, but 9-1, holy shit, and looking like the way they do, like, I mean, you know, the Jaguars, they were out without Trevor Lawrence, and they did the best they can. But oh my God, it looked like, you remember watching college football, right? Like, we watch college football normally as well. Like, this was like Alabama. And I don't know if I texted you this, but I texted some other people. I'm like, this is like watching Alabama playing like Mississippi South Central. Like, they pulled their starters in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they were saying going into the game with the 14. I think it was a 14-point spread. Is that
Yeah,
you don't see that in the NFL ever.
no, you
So,
don't.
but I mean, I'll take it. Like I said, I mean,
Right.
and we're doing. I mean, we still look like the same Lions before Hutch got hurt. So
Yeah.
keep it with
But
that,
no,
and it's fine.
Ladarius Smith did good. Doing
Yeah,
good.
when he went down, I was a little nervous.
Oh, I was, I was nervous.
So
Yeah, I was
I
nervous.
mean, it's gonna be tough with Anzalone being out, but I mean, it's just next man up like everybody else. I mean, Brian Branch
Yeah,
is
I mean,
playing out of his mind.
Brian Branch is my, if I were to pick a defensive player of the year, um, like, I know, and this is the thing, is I only saw a lot of Lions this year, but Brian Branch. I know he doesn't play like a. I mean, T.J. Watt's always up for it because I mean, speaking of T.J. Watt, look at those Steelers. But um, Brian Branch is a defensive MVP. He's got to be in that conversation. I mean, do you see the way he hits people?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god!
he's definitely he's ready to go out there and hurt somebody, which is
Yeah,
what we need. I mean, the the only thing I'm worried about going into this playoffs is that first round bye, which they almost
yeah,
had last year. I
hmm
don't know if that necessarily for us is going to help us or hurt us. I mean, I know it's going to help in the
right.
sense of injuries because that's
Yeah,
another week that you get to rest. But
yeah,
I mean, if we cruise through the rest of the season and only lose one game, we're on we got momentum, so
I
we
know.
need to just keep
Just
it
let
going.
it roll. Right.
So,
But
I mean, looking at the
you know,
standings though in the NFC, the only team that's really right behind us is Philly. Everybody else is
yeah,
not even
Philly
close.
and Washington. Yeah,
So,
because Philly's what two? I think two games behind, and then I think like 2.25 because we beat someone that they didn't beat and all that
yeah. And I
nonsense.
mean,
But
our division's tough. Minnesota
oh yeah,
Minnesota looks good again. They had that little 2-game losing streak, but Green
yeah,
Bay, I'm not too worried about. I think Minnesota is going to be the
no,
only competition in that division.
yeah,
Um, but
yep.
um,
I agree. And to be honest with you, like I was doing the math. We only, I think we only need two more like divisional wins, and then screw it, we can lose out. We're still gonna have our division locked up.
oh yeah, and I mean, looking at the standings, like I said, I don't see anybody else competing with us. Um,
Right.
I mean, I can see, and we can talk about the bracket. I can see it being Detroit, Philly in the NFC Championship game. Uh,
Yeah, I haven't even done a bracket, but I've done the yeah. Saquon is on another level.
oh yeah,
So
yeah, he's nuts. Yeah,
yeah,
I just had it pulled up here on from Google, and then obviously it's going to be Kansas City Buffalo in the AFC
yeah,
Championship.
yeah, because the Ravens are gonna you know they're gonna Raven again. I mean, they're gonna get somewhere and just collapse. I mean, we saw it. We saw it this week. Did you manage to see the end of that game?
Yes, I saw like the highlights afterwards.
Yeah, that 2 point conversion. You have Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I mean, I know it's the Steelers defense. Like I know, but come on. I mean, he ran it in from one or two earlier in the day. Like what are we doing here?
Well, yeah, and that was like Kansas City. What was that? 2 weeks ago now on the blocked field goal to keep their
Yeah,
season undefeated. Like it, I don't know. And I've been hearing like briefly like the field goal kickers aren't as well any like good like they used to be. Like I heard Justin
I
Tucker's
did hear
struggling a
that.
little bit.
That was interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
So
yeah, there's that thing with kickers. Like, what are you doing with? Are we really drafting field goal? Like, that's not what we're doing here. Like,
no.
we don't do that. I mean, of course, and you know what? It's interesting. Um, they had, you know, back in, and I think it might track with college. So college, they started switching to, and I don't know if this is true, but you know how they started to switch to like Australian punters instead of like kicking specialists. So like your
Yeah.
punting group. Um, to my knowledge, that always used to be the same guy, and now it's two. And I don't know if that's the reason why else is changing. Like I can remember, um, what's his name, Cameron Johnston from Ohio State was there for like 5 years, kicking every single time the ball needed to be kicked. It
Yeah.
was that man.
Yeah,
And
that was back when Jason Hanson was kicking. I mean, he
right,
did everything. Jake Bates, I
right,
think. Jake Bates, I think, only does both right now because our other kicker got injured, I believe.
yeah, I think so. But it's stuff like that. It's just weird. Like in college, I mean, I get it. College, you have like a 102 man roster. Like, why not have three of them be kickers?
Yeah,
Like, and college is also getting, and I think we're also seeing it with the quarterback talent is just a decline in uh, just total talent, I guess.
Well, look at
Um,
Anthony Richardson, who we're playing this week.
yeah, that's not a great.
The dude tapped out in the third quarter.
I know. I mean, I, what do you do at that point? Like you call yourself out because you can't do it. I mean, that's not.
No,
And
and
what you?
that's kind of like looking at the Lions roster. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think I think we paid our guys that we needed to, the big money.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's anybody else we really have to worry about. I mean, I think we have 3 years with this team. The only thing I'm worried about is
Yeah.
losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. But I trust Dan is gonna find plug and play guys because he's got a system. He's got a see. I mean, he told you he's got a system in place. Like
Well,
this
and we
was
have the
the
players. We have the players now. I mean,
right.
that 3-13 season was totally different players than it is this year.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So,
Jared and Sewell and Amon Ra were here, but
yeah,
I mean, the line was there, but the line looked good that year. I mean, we, but you got to remember that was a 3-13, but it really was like a it was like an 0-9, and then a what's left and then it was a 3-3.
yeah.
So like we ended that year like 3-3, and then it was just because it was that Amon Ross St. Brown catch. I'll never forget that.
Is that the one that
That
against Minnesota?
yeah, where he was down on his knees in the end zone
Yeah.
and he cradled that ball. I remember I was in Virginia. I was still in Virginia, and I heard the call. I heard Dan Miller on the call. He's like 0 seconds left. It's in my brain, and I'm like, wow, that's it. That's I knew someone. It was different. They fought, and now we're seeing it actually look different.
Well, yeah, we're
It's
competing
amazing.
against teams we never were able to. I mean, look at
Yeah,
last year, week one against Kansas City, the defending Super Bowl champs, went into their stadium and won. And
yeah,
then, I mean, that's why like this Buffalo game, I think, is really going to be a foreshadow of the Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah. I
if
mean,
we can go in there, I mean, do I want to win the Super Bowl? Of course. But
oh
if
yeah,
we can get to the Super Bowl, and I mean, even if we lose by a touchdown or 10, by a touchdown or 14 points, and it's against Buffalo,
mhm,
that's still a win season.
yeah.
I mean, the city's gonna parade whether we win the Super Bowl or not. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, that's gonna be insane. That night, those 2 weeks are gonna be insane between Super Bowl Sunday and the NFC Championship game.
oh yeah,
I mean, this team looks like they should already win the Super Bowl.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I'm hoping Philly does what they did last year and fall apart in the playoffs. But like you said, with
even
Saquon the way he's
so,
playing,
yeah. I mean, look at Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is. I mean, look at what he did last night against the Dallas defense. That's supposed to be good. I mean, it's not good in the run, but Detroit's defense was good in the run. I think against the Texans, he got 40 some yards the whole game,
yeah.
and against the Cowboys, he ran for like 150 and three touchdowns. Like,
Well, the Cowboys are a dumpster fire in and of itself, but yeah,
right. But it's good defense. I mean,
yeah.
it's
I mean, they're literally falling
that's
apart. I mean, I don't know if you saw or not, but the stadium fell apart.
yeah, that was funny. Uh, now, uh, something I found funny: they Cowboys haven't won at home since they allegedly won with the whole Decker thing. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did see something about that. They haven't won at home yet this year, I don't believe.
Yeah, every single professional team right now has won in 2024 except the Dallas Cowboys.
And I believe piggybacking off of that, I think the Lions are undefeated on the road, correct?
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah. Tampa was at home. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, when's the last time that like you remember the days where the Lion in Lambeau was what we called it. Like you're not winning in Lambeau,
Yeah.
and now it's like our second home. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
the thing is like fans travel now. I mean, I know
yeah,
big reason is because it's a lot cheaper, but I mean,
yeah, and we're better, but
yeah, the fan base is actually growing. I mean, I know a couple people
yeah,
from work that are actually going to the Indiana game
yeah,
because I mean, take a quick trip, weekend trip down there. But yeah, I mean, this team's different. So like I
It
said,
is
I mean,
different.
if we get 3 or 4 good years out of it, it makes it up for the 50 plus years that we've been
Oh, absolutely.
terrible. So
Absolutely. And especially this way. Like they are doing I mean, Dan Campbell said what he was going to do. And now we're doing it like obliterate you you heard him out of halftime in this Jags game. We were up like 21 points. And he said, the defense didn't get a turnover. Like they were down, but he said it's still a 0-0 game. Like, yeah,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
that's the
realistically, it
attitude.
is. I mean, we're just bullying teams. That's the thing too.
Bullying.
I
Yeah.
mean, when would you ever see us putting up 50 points, let alone 50 plus points in twice in the season, almost three
No.
times, the 47-9 victory over Dallas?
Yeah. And not to mention that, but with Matthew Stafford and even last year we would get in those shootouts. Like Stafford could pull out those 40-point games and it would be 41-40 or and we just barely win or he'd do that. And then last year, remember that Chargers game where it was just no defense was had. It was just score, 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 score.
Yeah.
But now it's really about the defense. I think the real amazing story about this year is that defense. Because when's the last time outside of Houston? I think we've been on like 4 or 5 game runs where a team hasn't gotten to double digits.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, the last 4 games, looking at it real quick, we held Jacksonville to 6, the Texans game,
Yeah,
obviously 23. But then the two
yeah,
games before that against the Titans and the Packers, we held them to 2 touchdowns.
yeah. That's
And that's
insane.
all
And
without Hutch.
right, and and the Texans game. I mean, we can even look at that one. So the Texans game, there was what 5 picks, and two of those.
2 of them were tipped. So I guess I mean, not really his fault
Well,
on that one.
well, two of those happened inside our own 20, 20 to 30 yard line. So
True.
that's an automatic point. Those are automatic points.
Well, and looking
So
at Gibbs and Montgomery, they totaled for 100 yards total.
oh god, yeah,
So actually less than 100 yards because, well, yeah, just over 100 yards. But I mean, yeah, between Gibbs, Montgomery, and Goff, they totaled to 105 yards.
that's insane.
So, and you still won the game. Granted, it was on a last second field goal, but
Yeah,
you're still not supposed
I
to
mean,
win that game.
no, I mean, I wanted to turn that game off, but the part of me was like, same old. I was about to use the same old Lions word, and I'm like, I'll watch this one. I'll watch this one out.
Yeah. Well, and even looking at these, I mean, we have 4 nationally televised. Well, yeah, 4 nationally televised games. We
Yeah.
have 2 8-15 games. I mean, we're never playing prime time games.
No, God, remember that one? Well, the first year with Dan Campbell, we didn't have a single one besides
No.
Thanksgiving.
No, and now we've had. I mean, I think feels like
We had
almost everyone has been
eight
a.
this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I think the Thanksgiving game is going to be. They're going to have so much momentum, so much adrenaline. Chicago better be ready because I think it's going to be another shit show.
I want it to be. I want to destroy Chicago and grind them into a pulp. I cannot wait.
I mean, we're looking
I
at
just
we're looking at. I believe it said it was a 9 point favorite, or where is it?
wow.
Oh, it doesn't have that
It's
one up
wild.
yet. But I mean, we're 7.5 on the Colts. So,
Wow. Wow. That's actually I think the Colts should be a little more, but whatever. That's
and
here I
realistically,
am
now
asking for
looking
that.
at it, after one, two, three, four, 4 out of the next 7 games are at home,
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
or 4 out of 7, I should say. But yeah, so I mean, and that's with 3 straight being at home with Chicago, Green Bay. So those are 2 division games, and
Yeah.
then both nationally televised, by the way. And then,
Oh, really? Nice.
well, yeah, because we have Thursday night
Oh,
football.
Thanksgiving and then
Yeah,
oh yeah,
back to
yeah,
back
yeah.
Thursdays.
Thursday night. I forgot. Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. So there's no
So
short week for us. That's beautiful.
yeah, and then you're looking at, oh, I'm sorry, 3 in a row because Sunday's a 4:30 game, so
That's a flex. Yeah, 4:30
yeah,
is a flex. That works.
and that's against Buffalo,
Oh, that
and
one's gonna be
then
good.
I mean you're looking at, I mean Chicago, you're looking at the end of December. So, but I mean, again, we only played how many games outside? One so far?
Three. Three are gonna be. Uh, oh, so far I think two.
Yeah,
So Green Bay
yeah, Green Bay and
and
Minnesota.
no, Minnesota's indoors. It was
Right.
somewhere down south.
I don't know.
Who? Oh, Arizona had their dome open.
Oh, okay. So, but realistically, one.
Yeah,
And then going forward, you got
and I
two, Chicago
yeah
and the 49ers.
yeah, and 49ers it's gonna be what 50 and sunny. So what's the even?
Yeah, and that's another nationally televised game, Monday Night Football.
Oh, nice. Chicago's gonna suck though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, they
we
might have a
might.
slight chance in Chicago at the end of December, but
Yeah, because I hate Soldier Field. Hate with a passion. Soldier Field is probably the worst maintained field besides FedEx. Like
yeah.
field's bad. Like remember, God, was it last year or 2 years ago where it like flooded against the 49ers and it was just standing water on the field? Like, come on.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah, but I
But
mean, looking at the schedule, I mean, I'm throwing it out there right now. I'm going to go 15-2. I'm going to give Buffalo that game,
yeah,
but
I like it. I like
who
15
would
and
have
2.
thought 15-2?
You know what? I might say 14 and 3 just because that last Chicago game, it's going to be like, well, we don't. Why are we playing?
See,
But
that's kind of what I was thinking too, only because yeah, are we going to bench our starters
yeah,
come that time? But the only thing is you have to worry about, yeah, because if Minnesota's still in the running for it, you're definitely
yeah,
benching them against Chicago.
yeah.
You really, that's the only game. You can't bench them against Green Bay
No,
because they might still be
no.
in it. Minnesota
And
will still be in it. And
and
then
to be
you're not benching
frank,
them against Buffalo.
right? And to be frank, do I think Dan Campbell is the type of guy or the type of coach who's going to bench starters? No. So
No, I mean, he kept them in
they're
way
playing
longer than he should have last week.
right.
And then people were complaining, which I think is hilarious, when he challenged that catch.
That was so funny.
I'm like,
That
you
was
know what?
so
We got,
funny. No, don't
like he
no.
said, though, it was a 0-0 game. I mean, you got to,
Every play is a 0-0 game.
yeah. So, I mean, you just got to play the whole game like it's like you're tied at zeros. And I mean, who knows? That
Right.
could have been a momentum swing with them getting
I
that catch
respected
and
it.
scoring a touchdown. I mean, I know it's late, but hey, you get a challenge for a reason. You might as well use it. Can't take
Yeah.
them to the next week.
Amen.
And
Um,
it's just funny because, teams would annihilate us 2-3 years ago. And now
I
that we're
know.
annihilating teams, everybody's mad. Oh, we shouldn't have challenged it.
I
Well,
know.
that's 50 plus years of what we've had to go through. So
I
let them
know.
throw a
So let
challenge. But
us have it. You remember those. We remember those days. So now they can
yeah, I mean,
make their kids grow up how we grew up.
yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Goff gets MVP. It's going to be tough because there's always Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I mean,
Yeah. And Saquon.
The Buffalo game means a lot for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Where
I mean,
where we're going to be as far as possible Super Bowl preview.
yes.
Jared Goff against Josh Allen, pretty much fight for an MVP. I think whoever
Yeah.
loses that's pretty much out. Because you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson, and then you're fighting Josh Allen, Jared Goff is
And
that third.
Saquon.
All right.
I still like Saquon, but
True.
yeah, I agree. Speaking of Super Bowl, I really want to hear your top seven from each side eventually, and then our bracket.
Yeah, I mean, let me pull this up right now, just looking at the stuff here. I mean, where'd it go here? So, I mean, let's start with the AFC.
Yeah.
AFC, looking at it, I think it's pretty much a lock. I mean, you got KC, Buffalo, Pitt, Houston, Chargers, Baltimore, and Denver. I don't see anybody else I mean, obviously,
Um,
seating wise, it's going to change a little bit, but
yeah,
everybody
I
eight
think
and down is out.
yeah, because yeah, Denver I still like. The Chargers are going to be Chargers and Denver are going to fight for one. The Ravens, the Bengals. I don't know, man. The Bengals are the only one out of that group that I
Oh yeah,
think
Bengals
might
might
have
be able to slide in.
the
They might be
seventh
able to
seed.
switch with
That's
Denver.
it.
I mean, number
But
one,
now
I'm going. I think number one should be Buffalo. Two is KC.
should be.
Three
Yeah,
is
I think.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think four is going to be Baltimore. I think they'll end up getting up there. Then
Well,
five, Houston.
four has to be someone from the AFC South.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So they would be. But yes, yes, I agree. Besides that little semantic, yes.
Yeah. I mean, the top seven that's in here as I see that not changing.
Yeah, I did it last week because I wanted to see how midweek looked. So I had KC at one because even when they did lose to Buffalo, I still think their division is going to be a cakewalk. The rest of their games look pretty easy, and Buffalo still has to play us. So I have them at two. I have the Steelers at three. Um, I also have the Texans at four. Five is the Ravens. Six. Um, six. I don't even know. Six. I actually had the Broncos at six and the Bengals at seven. But I think I like the Chargers better than the Bengals at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think that that's changing. So
Yeah, I don't either.
I think Kansas. It's either Kansas City or Buffalo coming out on top.
Yep.
I'm kind of hoping it's Buffalo. I think we got a better shot.
Yeah, I would be interested. I would be really interested to see. Frankly, I don't even think Kansas City is going to make it to the AFC Championship game. I will go off on a limb and say that it looks like it's going to look like Steelers, Bills, and we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Honestly, if the Steelers can pull that off and then somehow pull out a win against Buffalo, I see us having a cakewalk into the Super Bowl
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
Russell Wilson won't be able to.
no,
And then
it's going to be.
NFC,
I
yeah,
mean, defense wins championships, and the Steelers got a good one, but the Lions have a really good one too. I mean,
okay. Yeah, and then NFC. See,
yeah,
NFC is a little bit tougher. NFC,
it is
honestly, I
tough,
think Detroit's going to be one.
right?
Philly will probably be two.
Agreed.
And then let's see, they got Arizona at three, which I think Arizona is going to fall apart. I think they'll either fall lower down.
I like the Cards personally. I like the Cards.
Yeah, I mean they started off slow. They started off real slow,
Mm.
but they're in there. Atlanta, that I'm shocked to see them actually that in the playoff picture right now.
Yeah, I don't. It's either going to be Atlanta and Tampa Bay, and I think Atlanta just has the more games on it right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I
That's
think,
frankly it.
and then you got Minnesota. They'll for sure be in.
Yeah,
Green Bay will be in, and
yeah.
then Washington. Washington might they might move up a little bit.
Oh, you know what? I think I had Washington at the five.
Yeah, I can see that because I think Minnesota. Yeah, Washington just has a better overall morale. Um,
And Jaden Daniels is playing out of his mind
yeah.
for a rookie. Oh my God!
So
If there's one team I like watching second to the Lions, it's Washington playing with Jaden Daniels. He's something.
yeah. So
Um,
I see it. I see it
so
being Detroit Buffalo.
what about the West? Let's talk about the. I want to know what about the NFC West? Who from there? So I know you don't think the Cardinals, but they got a 2 game lead, I think now on San Fran, 2.5. Um, I want to hear about that. That your NFC West. What do you think's going to happen?
NFC West, I can see Stafford pulling it off. I think 49ers are
Yeah,
good.
really.
Yeah,
I
I
do
mean,
too.
it's between the Cardinals and the Rams. I mean,
Yeah,
I think Seattle just is always like they might slide in there because they always do, but 49ers,
yeah,
I think, are done. And you can't
yeah.
really, I mean, we can't count Stafford out. So it's between those two for sure.
I know. I just the Cards just have too many games right now ahead of anyone else, and I don't like Gino. I mean, he kudos to him for dominating the 49ers last week. That was bold. That was bold. Um, but yeah, I agree with you.
So, but time will only tell what happens. I'm
No,
excited for this week. Not really nervous. I think it should be. I don't think we'll
no,
put up 52, but I mean,
no.
I could see it being like 24 to 7, 24-14 type deal.
Yeah,
So,
you're fine with that. Now the big question is how many picks do you think Curry Joseph's going to get? Because or how many picks the defense going to get? Because I don't know. Did you see the interception leaders for the year so far? And did you see those numbers?
no, but I mean, it seems like last week we had a bunch. I mean, obviously playing a
Yeah.
crappy team, but
I mean, Kirby had 7, and he's in first place. And then I think Brian is in third with like 4 or 5.
damn.
Yeah. So we're getting, I mean, the what? And then not to mention how many Carlton Davis has, which I think is like 2. Uh, yeah, I mean, that stuff's insane.
So, no, I mean, to answer your question, I think I'm going to predict 3 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the defense will have 3.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson. I like it.
So, but I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be watching.
Yeah,
So
me too.
we'll have to get together at the just before playoffs start and see if anything changes from
I
what
know.
we talked about today and
I
see
know.
where everybody stands. So
That'll be fun, and then we'll do a real bracket. Um, Let me ask you. I saw one podcast do this, and I wanted to ask you. Um, what's one thing, or so 3 things. One thing you're most excited about for the rest of the season. One thing um, you want to see more of, or like want to see less of. So basically, one thing you like, one thing you're not gonna like seeing, one thing you're gonna love to see, and one thing you kind of want to change.
so what I like seeing is that we're still gelling as a team, even though we have a bunch of injuries. It's next man up. Um,
Mm,
I think everybody's playing their role and everybody's knowing where they're supposed to be, even if they're not that starting one. Um,
yeah,
I'm happy with that. The one thing I don't like is, I mean, I'm just going to single out Williams. Is his off the field stuff? He needs to get that in
yeah,
check. But I mean, as far as a team standpoint, we just need to not get cocky. I mean, we only have one loss, but we need to pretend that we're a 500 team fighting to get in the playoffs. So
yeah. I like.
we can't just let off the gas. I mean, what we did in Jacksonville is what we have to do all season. I mean, whether you're
Yeah,
up 7 or you're up, 42, you have to play the same throughout the whole game and just leave it at that. And so, but
yeah.
yeah,
It's a 0-0.
yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, me too, man.
So,
It's gonna be fun.
oh yeah. Well, Lucky, like I said, we'll have to do this again come uh
Amen.
maybe week, what is it, 17? There's 17 weeks, right? Why am I getting confused there?
Uh, 18 because of the bye.
18. I keep forgetting about that one. So, what we'll do is we'll get back together week 18. We'll both have a bracket and we'll put it up on the screen so everybody can see it, and then we'll talk about it and see where we're at compared from
I love it.
today's. So,
I love it. Maybe we'll be in person next time. It was a pleasure, Cody. I like it.
yeah. So, you'll be on again. Like I said, yeah, we can definitely do an in-person one, and we'll get it all situated. But thanks for being on, Lucky. We'll do this again.
Of course, sounds good, bro. I'll see you soon.
Alrighty, take care.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya. Well, thanks everybody for tuning into this week's episode. It was great talking with Lucky about sports and the Lions, and like we talked about, we'll have to get back together week 18 and see if our predictions are going to come true. But that's all we got for today. Peace out. Thank you for viewing and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.